Oi, no dozing.
Alright guys, Nathan here, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about this game called Shatterline. Now, you probably don't have any clue what this game is, and honestly I had no clue what this game is. The only way I found this game was I was browsing through the free-to-play section on Steam, and I was like, you know what, that's a free-to-play first-person shooter game. Whenever I see one of those, I always want to try it out. So I was like, you know what, let me download it, and let me figure out what it is. So, it does kind of, from the surface, look like a mix of Overwatch and Paladins and Fortnite. And you wouldn't be wrong to suspect that it's something similar, but I will say this game does some things quite differently from those games. The main factor being it's a PvE slash PvP game. So this game, you pretty much grind out your gear in PvE. You can go on these expeditions. They can be long or short, however long you want to make of it. You could do it by yourself. You could do it, I think you could do it by yourself, but I was doing it with 3 other people. Basically, you go into the lobby, it finds you some people. If there's at least one other person with you, it throws you into the game. After that, someone can actually join your game too, so I think it's a maximum of 3 people. You go on expeditions, you hunt stuff. I think there's these things that you pick up called salt deposits. You fight bosses. Basically, think about like an open world sort of game where there's certain zones. So I guess, in quotes, open world. So you go to these zones, you fight these bosses, there's wave after wave of enemies, there's certain objectives you have to accomplish to get more weapons, you get supply drops. Whenever you go to these beacons, you have a choice of extracting or getting another supply drop. And the supply drop doesn't actually land where you want it to. It lands like way across the map, and you gotta go and then find it and retrieve it. And there's a chance that you might die. So throughout the map, as you're going through and exploring, random enemies spawn. The nice thing is you can revive your teammates, but it's kind of hit or miss. You know, sometimes it doesn't really. Let me explain this. So when you guys go down, there's not this huge flashing thing of where is your teammate. It's like this tiny little icon that you kind of got to look for, and you could totally miss it if you're in the heat of battle, and you might totally miss it, your teammate. And basically, if you die, if you go down and you're not able to revive, you have to wait 1 minute before you can respawn. Now, if your teammate gets to you within that 1 minute, you can actually get revived. So that's basically how the reviving works. So PvE, I didn't spend a whole lot of time in it. I did grind out a little bit just to get my level up just enough to unlock some attachments in the guns and the multiplayer. But moving on to the PvP side of things, this is where it gets a little interesting. So the first thing I want to say is this game's gunplay is very interesting. The really interesting part, the part that I really liked was that this game does amazing with the hit detection. This game, if you shoot a bullet, it's gonna hit where you shoot the bullet. It's not like all those other games where you're flying around all over the place, the bullet doesn't go where you want it to go. My only gripe, actually I have quite a few gripes, so let's go over the pros, right? I think the only pro with this game so far that I really liked is the hit detection. There's a lot of cons though. So, and honestly, this game is still in its beginning stages, so we can't judge it too quickly yet, but I can already tell you, this game is pretty much dead. There's not a whole lot of people playing it all at once, because it's one of those games, it's like, it even has a battle pass, and it really makes you wonder, should I spend money on a sort of game like this? Because you already know, 5 years down the line, if it even makes it that far, this game servers will be shut down, and you're going to be out of all the money and all the collectibles and everything you accomplished in this game, all the money you put into this game. So it's like, do I really want to do that? Probably not, which is really a shame, because there's so many games, the market is so oversaturated, people can't actually put money into this game. I'm sure there's people out there that really enjoy this game, and they just can't enjoy it to the fullest extent, or if they do, they're gonna end up losing all their stuff eventually. But anyways, getting back to the point, the parts that I don't like about the multiplayer is, first off, you cannot jump shot. Why can't you jump shot? So many times, any other first-person game, you can jump shot. If you're locked onto an enemy, you're trying to shoot, you're in a gunfight, you can't jump. If you jump, you'll un-aim down sights, which is the stupidest thing ever. Which is interesting because you'd think, okay, well, you can't multitask. Maybe I shouldn't be able to kick a bucket or kick a freaking block of wood while I'm shooting. Oh, no, you can run and then you can shoot while you're kicking a block of wood while you're interacting with the environment. It makes absolutely no sense. Another big gripe I have is the map design. The map design kind of sucks in this game. When you're playing Conquest, I think that's the game, wherever, it's like that game mode in Overwatch where you have to push the cart to the enemy lines. There's 2 rounds. The first round is you defending against the cart being pushed to your lines, and then the second round is you're pushing the cart to the enemy lines. Now, I will say this. When I was defending, the cart didn't make it our side. And then when I was pushing, we didn't make the cart to their side. Okay, so at first when I was defending, I was like, okay, we're doing pretty good. They didn't make it. And then I realized, okay, it's the same thing when I'm pushing. I realized because the choke points at the end are so freaking tight in this game, unlike Overwatch, unlike Paladins, if you guys have all played those type of games, the choke points are so tight right near at the end, it's almost impossible to push the freaking cart through, guys. Unless the team is absolutely butt, you're not going to be able to push that cart through, you know what I mean? We had communication in our team, we were using microphones, well, let's just say I wasn't using my microphone, but they were using their microphone, and even then we could not get the cart through the freaking gate. And another thing I really don't like about this game is the stupid explosives. Bro, if you guys watch the gameplay, if you guys watch my gameplay, you'll see these explosives are ridiculous, man. Someone throws a mine, it'll blow up in a freaking 5-mile radius. That's how big the freaking explosion radius is, man. And then one of the other classes that you have, first of all, not all the classes have grenades, which kind of sucks because you're just limited to your primary weapon and your secondary weapon. Your secondary weapon is pretty much ass unless you're right up close to the enemy, and even then, the fire rate's really slow. There's a fire rate cap. Second off, no grenades, so if you're in a close quarters gunfight, it takes forever to reload these guns, man. There is no quick reload, and you run out of ammo so fast. That's another point. But my main thing is these stupid explosives, man. The other class I was talking about, there's like this homing grenade sort of thing that spawns all these projectiles. It's ridiculous. And there's this other super OP class. It's a black lady with the dreadlocks. I forget what her name is. But basically, she has, I think, a revolver. And obviously, you can switch out your classes. But she had a revolver in this gameplay. And on top of that, she's got a freaking minigun, bro. Yeah, you still have the standard health. But a minigun, it's like you can mow down the entire team. Especially in Conquest, whenever you're channeling down that little tunnel. Just aim and start shooting. You're going to mow down everybody. You have absolutely no chance if you're on the other team, bro. So that's sort of how multiplayer is. I personally did find it pretty enjoyable when it was actually going my way, obviously. I think this is a really interesting game because there's a lot that could go right with this game, but I feel like it's never going to reach its true potential because it's one of those games where it's like, oh, it's just another hero shooter, you know what I mean? People are going to look at this, they're going to try it a few times, and they're probably going to leave more than likely. They're not going to invest that money, like I said before. They're not going to really give it much of a chance, which is why it took me 5 minutes to get into a freaking lobby in the first place. As a matter of fact, it took me longer to get into a multiplayer lobby than it did to get into a PvE lobby. So, and there's actually also ranked. I'm not even touching ranked, guys. So this is like a quick little review, my first impressions of this game. So I'm not going to touch ranked. If you guys want to touch it, if you guys like the gameplay and you guys like seeing whatever you're seeing and you guys want to try the game out, go for it. My Steam, as you guys can see, if you guys want to play with me, if you guys want me to give this game a second shot, add me. And if you guys want me to do a follow-up video, if you guys want to play together and do that, we can totally do that. But yeah, anyways, quick little review, first impressions of playing this game. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Follow me on Instagram, DM me if you guys have any questions, if you guys want to play any particular games. I'm totally open to it. Really trying to get back on this grind on this channel, and hopefully we'll make it big, guys, hopefully. Anyways, take care, and I'll catch you on the next one.